Hi there, I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and welcome to my chock-a-block sewing gadget gift ideas vlog. Now, I don't know about you, but at Christmas, I like to be a little bit in control and know that I'm getting at least one gift that I'm going to use. And I love sewing gadgets. So, every year, I send the huckster and my son a list of price appropriate gifts and the links in the hope that I get at least two things at Christmas that I'm going to love. So, shall we make a start then? I'm going to go through them. Start with the lowest and work up to the highest. When we get to the gifts, I will disappear and you'll see the images and me voicing over and telling you about each gift. And then at the end of each section, I'm going to bob back in for a little chat of what I think about them. So let's start with the £20 and under gift category. The first gadget in the £20 and under category is this super tool storage box. I think it's meant for fishing tackle, but I actually use this box myself for all my prim snaps, fastenings and tools, and also my small selection of buttons. It's got a carrying handle and there are adjustable dividers which are great for putting all your different sizes of components in. The drawers are actually removable little drawers, so if you were going to a sewing social and you wanted to take your plastic snap fastenings, you could have all those in one of the drawers. Just take that drawer with you, you don't have to take the whole toolbox. In the top, there's extra storage as well for bulkier items. And I have my Vario pliers in there and a set of normal pliers, because invariably I have to use the normal pliers to get the tools out of the Vario pliers. Maybe it's just me. So what do we think? This toolbox retails at £17.99. So it's a great under £20 gift for somebody, for you to buy for somebody or for somebody to buy for you, and organise all your bits and bobs. Number 2 gift is something that people who've been sewing for a while may already have, you might not, but it's a great one for a beginner sewer, and it's a bias tape maker set. Now in this set you get all the bias tape tools from 6mm up to 25mm tapes. You get the binding presser foot and it comes in this cute little compact box. It retails at £11.99, so it's a great stocking filler or a great gift, I think, for a beginner sewer or somebody who spends an awful lot of money on ready-made bias tape and hasn't seen the light that making your own is cheaper and better quality. So in the under £20 category, the final gift that I found is from a small company who are eco-friendly, and they're called the Haberdashery Bee. And I loved their seam ripper. It's made with sustainably sourced beechwood, and the blade stores inside the handle, which I think is brilliant. And because the blade comes out, you've got the option to replace the blade as well and not have to buy a whole new seam ripper, which is very economical as well. So this seam ripper comes in at £15, which can seem like a lot of money for a seam ripper, but one that is made to this quality I think is great value. Now, the haberdashery bee also do a matching sewing owl. Here's an image of the owl. It works in the same way as the seam ripper. So if you wanted to up your game and move into the next category, you could buy the seam ripper and the owl as a set for £30. Beautiful gift, and I hope I get these this Christmas. We think of our under 20 category, not bad. I've just brought out my toolbox that is the same one that I'm recommended. It has loads of storage in the top. Oh, I didn't know where those scissors were. Glad I looked in here. So it's got storage in the top, and then it has a cover on the front. And then each of these little compartments, don't want everything to fall out. You sort. Oh, this one's got small buttons in it. How cute is that? So as I said earlier, you can just take what you need. If you only need small buttons, you don't have to take the whole thing. Just slip that in your catch-all caddy and you're good to go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 drawer compartments, a cover, top storage, which locks, and a handle. Great gift that. So what about the next category? £40 and under. Shall we have a look at those next? Come on. The first item in this category I've been looking at for a while, and this is it. It's the Simplicity Portable Bobbin Winder. And you can get one of these babies for £22.99. Definitely on my Christmas list. It is battery operated, so no wires, but it's not rechargeable batteries. It's portable and comes in a sturdy case, and I think it's perfect for taking to socials with you. I get annoyed when I'm in the middle of a project and my bobbin runs out, and I don't want to start messing around unthreading all the thread in my sewing machine. This is going to be perfecto because I'll just be able to switch it on, wind bobbins, carry on sewing while it's winding, particularly when you're busy. It's time saving as well. So that is number 1. Number 2 is something that a lot of you may already have, but I certainly have not, and it is the Ancio travel iron. Now, there are different brands of these little travel irons, but I think they're a great idea. Now I'm going to the socials, I think I need one of these. Then I'm not queuing up to press my garments, because you can't have an iron and an ironing board for everybody who's there. And last time at mine there was 16 of us, so it got a bit hectic, even though we had 3 irons. So a travel iron. This one has got ceramic coated sole plates, an ergonomic design, and it has an easy steam release function, which means when you sit it upright, the steam cuts off, which is a really nifty thing to have on a travel iron. So that is number 2, and it's £21.95. So the last one in this category is the most expensive, but one that I definitely need, and it is an overlocker bag. I'm putting my overlocker bag in a sewing machine bag, a small one that I have, and I struggle getting it in and out of the bag. It drives me nuts. This bag has got an easy access zip system. I'm sure you'll see from the images that are coming up. So it's going to be a lot easier to get my overlocker in and out of the bag. And it's got 2 storage pockets, so plenty of storage for your bobbins of cotton and your power leads, etc. Now, the interesting thing on this is that it's got a strap on the rear so that you can attach it to a trolley base. So I like that because I've already got a sewing bag that's on a trolley, so I could pop this on the top and wheel them both in together. It's definitely a winner for me, this one. And it's only £30.89p for an overlocker bag. Definitely worth looking at that one. So that's our £40 and under range. Not bad products. All three of those are on my list. So fingers crossed I will get at least one of them. So which out of the three do I think I want most? The bobbin winder, I think, is brilliant, but I do need an overlocker bag for when I'm going to all the social sewings that I'm starting going to, because I am going to start going to other people's a lot more in the new year, start getting out and about more. It is nicer when it's not your social, you get more sewing done and it's more relaxing. So definitely the overlocker bag for me out of that section. Let's carry on with the next section, which we're up in the ante to £60 and under. So the first thing I found that I quite like in this category is this lovely, stunning rotating spool holder. It holds 84 threads and rotates 360 degrees. There's 21 spindles per side and it's from broth thread, which means the spools are longer and they will fit the broth thread spools on as well, because they're spaced out a little bit more than the standard ones, but you can use them for standard cottons as well. It retails at $43.99, which is an item, but it's a lovely gift for somebody who's setting up their sewing room, who needs help tidying things up, loses their threads a lot. I think this is perfect. Number 2 in the under 60 is electric scissors. Now, I've been looking at these for a while and hoping that one of the ladies who comes to my social is going to bring hers along with her next time for me to have a play with, because I'm getting arthritis in my hands and my thumbs ache if I use the scissors a lot. So maybe electric scissors is the answer. Let me know if you've got a pair and what brand you've got. This set comes with 2 rechargeable batteries, which means you get 120 minutes cutting time. You get 2 different blades options, so it cuts through anything from fabric to aluminium sheeting. Amazing. And they're retailing at $43.99. Now, when I was going down the rabbit hole of electric scissors, I did find some that were over £100, but I think if you've not used them before and you just want a pair to use occasionally, these $43.99 ones might be for you. And then, last but definitely not least, in the under £60 bracket is the Prim Creative Tool. This baby retails on Amazon for £56.70p. It's used for punching holes and attaching press studs and eyelets. So basically everything that your Vario pliers did, this does, but does it better. It's compatible with all the existing Prim tool sets and includes punching tools for 2.5 and 4mm holes in with it. Now, hang around, because at the end of this little vlog, I'm going to do I have promised for a while, I'm going to do my opening of the ones that I have bought and a little chat about what I think about them. So I'm popping that on the end of this vlog. So what do we think? Under 60. We're getting a bit pricey now, aren't we? As I said, the Vario pliers, the Prim Creative Tool I've already got, and I am bobbing my little opening vlog on the end and my initial reactions. So have a watch at the end if you're interested in purchasing or getting those as a gift. So because I've already got those, out of the other two, which one would I choose? I've already got spool holders. Not anywhere near as snazzy as that one, but I've already got them. So I would go for the electric scissors. Now, I haven't picked particularly expensive ones. I've gone down the middle line. Obviously, there's cheaper ones and there's more expensive ones out there. If you use electric scissors, let me know what you think of them and what brand you've got and whether you'd recommend them, because I am seriously looking at electric scissors. So the next category, we're getting a bit meaty now. Under £100. But, you know, the hubster might be feeling like splashing out on me. So what gifts did I find that you can buy for me this year? So under £100, I've got 3 gift options. The first one is a sewing trolley bag. Now, this is the one that I've already got, and I have quite a big sewing machine, so this one is perfect for me. It measures 53 centimetres wide by 41 centimetres tall by 29 centimetres deep. So when you're buying a trolley bag or any bag for your machine, measure your machine first to make sure it will fit. But I'm sure that most machines will fit in this huge bag. It's got a strong telescopic handle, easy glide wheels, hook and loop safety straps inside to keep your machine safe, and lots of pockets and compartments on the front, back and both sides. And as I said, I've road tested this particular trolley. It retails at $64.99 and I love it. Item number 2 in this category is from a company called Generate, which is owned by a lady called Jen Hogg, who was on the Sewing Bee. And they make eco-friendly sewing gadgets. And this Generate Deluxe gift set has a set of their seam circles, sewing ruler, beeswax needle catcher, or a stretch ruler. I think I'd go for the stretch ruler, a silicone hemmer, and a seam gauge. So apparently you save, I've not added it all up, but you save 20% on the individual prices, because you can buy all these items individually. So I would recommend going and having a look on their website. It's called Generate with a J, and you could buy some of the smaller individual things as smaller gifts for people, because they are beautifully made. So item number 3 in this category is something I've been looking at for a while, and it is the Simplicity Bias Tape Maker, and it retails at £100. It was more expensive, I think it was about £120, £130, but you can get it on Amazon for £100 now. So it creates bias tape at the touch of a button. It's got an adjustable heat settings, so suitable for all fabrics. You get 4 tips with it to do 6 up to 25mm bias binding, and 2 quilt binding tips at 25 and 32mm. Now, it does exactly the same as what the $11.99 basic bias binding kit does, but this is an electric one. It does it for you. You wind your tape on at one end, flat material, press the button, and it does it all for you. So the first thing that I found that I really do want one of these, I think, is a foldable cutting table. Now, this baby retails at $379.99. It's height adjustable. It has grid marks on the top in inches, centimetres, and you can do angles on it as well. So perfect cutting out surface. It has two side storage trays. It's on casters, folding sides, and it folds down to a width of 12.25 inches. Depth. Width or depth? Well, you know what I mean. And when you've unfolded both sides of the table out, the cutting area measures 58.75 inches by 36.5, which is a serious cutting out area. So that is definitely on my radar. And then the second thing is something that I'm curious about, because quite a few vloggers are promoting this item. And I am wondering whether I need it in my life. They're getting under my skin, which is what, surreptitious advertising does, doesn't it? And it is the Serious Reader Light. So if you've got one of these, let me know what you think. Is it worth the money? It's meant to replicate daylight hours. Daylight. And in these dark days, it's dark in here, as it is anyway. So it is meant to replicate daylight. Now, I've bobbed on their website, and they start at about the £249 and up. So not a cheap item. But there is a £100 off code, SR479. Pop it at the bottom. Now, I'm not one of the vloggers who's promoting these serious readers. I'm just curious as to whether it's worth investing in. Worth thinking about. So there we go. That's my gadget ideas. I hope you found it informative. And as I said earlier, I'm now going to pop on the end my Prim Creative Tool opening vlog. So hang around for that. And if you don't want to see that, that's fine. I will see you on Monday for my Monday Makes and Plans. Have a lovely sewing weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye for now. Okie doke. So I've had a quick read of the extremely sparse instructions that come with this thing. And I think it is just a case of trial and error, which is what I've had to do. To be fair, there's not much to suss out. Once you've sussed it, you've got it. It does tell you under the handle there's a screw, and that screws in and out depending and adjusts the pressure that you're pressing down. It tells you how to put the attachments in, and then it just says press. So if you've used the Vario pliers, you shouldn't have too many problems with it, if I'm honest. But we're talking Christine here. So before I could even use it, I had to figure out which tools I was meant to be using. So I've got myself a little piece of denim. Now you do get, these with it, which are what they call them, piercing tools. So they cut your little holes in your fabric before you do your press studs. I've already done one for a practice look, so it does work. So I've done a little hole using the piercing tools. Job's a good one. Figured out which tools I'm meant to put in for a press stud, because I never remember, and I'm going to have to put them into little bags, I think, and mark on them, because every time I use these, I've just got them all shoved in here. Can you see? These are all the attachments. No logic to them. Typical Christine style. But I have got this beautiful box to put them all in, so I'm going to have to put some labels on the top and use them for the different tools. That's a little job for me next week. So that was the hardest part, and that was nothing to do with these Vario pliers. Quite heavy, heavier than I thought. So I've put the right tools in, and I've had practice. Now, if I was putting one of these on with these, it'd take me 2 or 3 goes, and then the chances are the one that I thought worked would come off when I was wearing it. Flipping annoying. Now I am assured, and it does feel quite secure, the one that I've put on. So we'll waste another one together. And find the right one. So I'm putting the outside, whoops, the outside professional knot of the press stud on. So I need that piece, and I need that piece. I've got the right tools in. I've punched my little hole. So the piece that is the press study piece, simply, she says, look, if I lifted it up, give myself some room, just clicks on to the tool. So this piece goes underneath through the little holes, so you can see it. You can. Stupid thing to do that, because I've now knocked it down. Until you feel it give. And there you go. Another press stud. Feels really secure. It's gone through. So yeah, that's it really. Nothing more to say. Does what it says on the tin. This lever, you can put a lot of pressure on, so I don't feel like I'm struggling with my hands and this part of my hand using these Vario pliers. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but they're just not good for me and my hand issues. So if anybody wants some Vario pliers, as I said, going free, because this works. So the only thing I've got to do is figure out what press study things, snaps, whatever, all these pieces do, because I've just chucked them all into one piece in there. So these piercing tools are going back in this box, and one of my little jobs is going to be, actually, all I need to do, I've got all the different press stud things in here. All I need to do is put the right tools in with the right one, and then I'll know, won't I? So I think I'm going to have to do a bit of YouTubing, figure out which one does what. But that's no reflection on this. I think I'm going to enjoy it. That was a little demo. I will do a more detailed one when I've got more time and when I've used it more, and then I can give you an honest opinion. But from taking it out of the box to getting a press stud on a piece of canvas, easy. Even though the instructions are rubbish. So that's the only thing I would say. The instruction booklet tells you very little. If you want someone to hold your hand, I would recommend watching Lauren at Guthrie and Garney. She does a really good review of these Vario Creative Tool. That was just my open the box, get it going, and you can do without watching anything. Just a little bit of a head scratching, but I got there.